Well, a hearty good evening to you one more time. Surprise, we're here on a Tuesday. It's time once again for the Champion Brothers ChampCast, Bubba's Big Broadcast, or.
Let's talk some Southern gospel.
Yes, indeed. Look, Scott's right back there in the middle again. Hey, bud, how you
There
doing?
he is,
Doing just fine. How are y'all?
right
All
there.
right. Yes. Oh, I forgot to point. Now I can't remember which way. Oh, that way. Yeah, there we go. Yes, we are back on a Tuesday because we are efforting another special guest, and hopefully they can get their technical issues worked out. If they can, great. If they can't, we'll just move on. But Neal, we are here because we are almost ready for Saturday night. Tell them about it.
We are, man. It seems like it'll never get here, and then all of a sudden it's here and gone.
Mm-hmm.
This Saturday night at the Fayette Civic Center, Fayette, Alabama, Tribute Quartet is coming to town, and boy, we want y'all to come and enjoy them. We plan to for sure.
Yes, sir.
July the 29th, this Saturday night, 6 p.m. is when we'll get started. We'll have the doors open for you about 5. And I mean, there definitely is limited seating at this venue. So it might not be a bad idea to come on in there early and make sure you got a good choice of seats. It's just general admission. And won't cost you a dime to get in. No admission at the door. We will give you the opportunity to give and help support these events.
Wait, no admission charge at the door.
Right.
If you say it no admission at the door, that makes it sound like we ain't letting them in, and we all
Oh,
gonna let them in.
That's a good point. I should not. You're exactly right. There will be admission at the door. You just won't have to pay for it.
And
that
we
better?
will receive a love offering. We will not take a love offering. We're not
Yeah,
going
we
to
will.
walk up to you and make you put something in the plate.
We will ask for, and if you giveth, we shall receiveth.
Yes, absolutely.
That was for the King James people.
Yes.
I guarantee you, I have heard Tribute Quartet several times. I've never heard them as the primary artist for a concert like this. It's always been on big stages where there were lots of groups there. So I'm excited just to hear them in concert. Faithful Friends will sing a few, Chosen Witness will sing a few, get things rolling, and then it'll be the rest of the night full of the Tribute Quartet. And definitely, y'all come out, get a load, rent a bus, rent a van, tell everybody, bring your neighborhood, bring your whole church. Just come and enjoy. I guarantee you will leave uplifted if you come expecting a blessing.
Absolutely. And Scott, I had to step out for a second, so I took him out and put him back. So.
Thank you. Yeah. Sounded like I had a jet airplane going off in here. I forgot to cut off my dehumidifier in this studio, so it said.
So that's what that was.
I thought you were just doing some cleaning right quick, just vacuuming a little bit or something.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, boys.
It's all right.
I've got Jason Baines trying to pinch hit for us and help our guest with access. So hopefully, this is working.
All righty.
Do we go ahead and talk about who the guest might be, or we're just going to wait and let it be a surprise?
Well,
it might be. There is a 25% chance that it could be any member of Tribute Quartet.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Actually, there's a 100% chance that it could be a member.
Maybe we'll
one. Let's think about these statistics. Never mind.
Yeah,
we're gonna have somebody here talk about it.
It could be the sound and product manager.
Could be.
Oh yeah, well that's true too.
Could be.
Well, let's say hey to some folks, and we encourage you, if you're listening or watching, we just ask you to hit that like button, share button if you want to, and or make a comment. We'd love to say hey to you. Joel Bobo's checking in, and Judy Armstrong, and Jason Baines already said howdy to us. So glad to have you with us, Jason, and thank you for your behind the scenes tonight. We appreciate that a whole bunch. But let's we were talking about Tribute Quartet. You want to just play some of their music?
Let's do that.
They did an album, Scott, and you probably know more about this than I do, called Once Again a few years back.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember how many years back, but they went back and re-recorded several songs that had been big songs for them in their early days. And for a long, long time, and still to this day, I think, a lot of folks when they think tribute quartet, they think about this song, and it's one that Josh is featured on called "Good News from Jerusalem."
Absolutely, great
You
one.
want to play that? Is that
Please
good?
do.
All
One of
right.
Loretta's favorites of theirs.
Here it comes from the tribute quartet and "Good News from Jerusalem."
Jesus was a man who is not like any other. He preached about judgment and a kingdom soon to come. Oh, the people had never heard words like these. He stirred up the scribes and the Pharisees. So they began to plot against God's one and only Son. They led him before the courts and the halls of Pilate. In a trial they mocked and condemned this righteous man. Pilate listened to the crowd and he knew they lied. But when he heard the people cry, "Crucify," he tried, but he couldn't wash the blood from his guilty hands. Jesus died on a lonely hill they called Mount Calvary. They laid him in a tomb, and a stone sealed him inside. Oh, but 3 days later, when the women came, shocked and excited, when they reached his grave, they ran back to town, and everybody heard them cry. Good news from Jerusalem, across on a hill where the dead was laid, an empty tomb where his body lay, a small upper room where they saw he was glorified. Good news from Jerusalem, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Good news from Jerusalem, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. 2,000 years have passed since he ascended. Oh, and wars rage on in a world so lost in sin. Troubles and trials on every hand, but peace is coming to the promised land. When the King comes back, we'll shout it again and again. Good news from Jerusalem, a sign in the sky every eye can see. A crown that will last for eternity, a throne for a king who had long been prophesied. Good news from Jerusalem, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Good news, he's alive. A sign in the sky every eye can see, a crown that will last for eternity, a throne for a king who had long been prophesied. Good news from Jerusalem, good news from Jerusalem, good news from Jerusalem. He's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Good news, he's alive. Good news, he's alive. He's alive.
That's the tribute quartet and "Good News from Jerusalem" here on the Champion Brothers broadcast. There's Scott, brother, cousin, right there in the middle too, and
Good news.
that is
indeed.
good. And say hey to some more folks. Carolyn Robinson checking in, saying hello, howdy to Carolyn. Rachel says that's one of her favorites from these friends of ours, and I saw where they put out a thing about the Living the Stories tour or retreat, I think it is, and quoted Rachel in there today. Mal says, "Hey brothers," and great song. Yes, sir, indeed. Let me see over here. Yeah, Loretta's checking in from upstairs too. So glad to have everybody with us. We're talking about the tribute quartet, and Scott's fixing to give us an update. What do you got there, Wichita?
All right. This just in. We are re-downloading browsers, and we're going to see if that'll fix it.
All right.
So
computers are great till they ain't.
That's right. That's right. So
we
hope
fails, turn it off and back on again.
That's right. But appreciate Jason Baines. Right now he's working with Gary. He's on the phone and trying to help him. Well, I just let the cat out of the bag, didn't I?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whoops. But we're trying to get him on, so we're doing our best. He's doing the best. But thinking about that song you just played, and like you said, that was on several albums ago, and they came out a year and a half, 2 years ago with the Once Again project. I like it when groups do that every now and then. When I love the sound when Anthony and Riley were with Tribute Quartet, and it was a wonderful cut. But now with Gus and Ian in it, you get a different sound, a different feel. And I don't know. I like it when groups go back and recut some of their hits.
You want to hear another off that album?
I do as well.
Well, sure.
Y'all want to pick one?
That one right there.
So y'all pick one.
Do that one right there.
No.
I've been blessed.
Okay. All right. Requested by Scott. Here it is from the Tribute Quartet, and I've been blessed.
I've been blessed. Oh, I've been blessed. Something down the side is flowing over my soul. Better than this, for I've been blessed. Sometimes in the morning, the devil starts working on me. He tells me everything is going so wrong in my life. I just stop to tell him, Satan, you can get behind me. I'm a child of God, and I won the victory. I've been blessed. Oh, I've been That's the blessed. Something down the side is flowing over my soul. I've been blessed. Yes, I've been blessed. It can't get any better than this, for I've been blessed. All day long I count them until I lay my head to rest. I don't deserve what the Lord has done for me, can't you see? But right at the top is the day when I took Jesus into my life. 'Cause I've been set free and I can't help but testify. I've been blessed. Oh, I've been blessed. Something down inside is flowing over my soul. I've been blessed. Yes, I've been blessed. It can't get any better than this, for I've been blessed. 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 I've been blessed, for I've been
The Tribute Quartet, and I've been blessed here on the Champion Brothers broadcast this evening. Glad to have Neal and Scott along for the ride. And I was just checking here. Let me wait. I muted you, so I'm unmuting you. Now tell me about it, Neal.
And you will leave Saturday night saying that if you come.
Yes.
I've
absolutely.
been blessed. I don't know why I'm doing my fingers like this, but I am.
Just make that extra point. There's no harm in that.
Yeah.
But I was looking during that song at a couple of things, and one of them was the comments. And Mal Mallory said, "Chris and Neal, were y'all part of the Bama Boys?"
What a
Yes,
question.
indeed, we sure were.
Absolutely.
And
And
right
Scott was
there
as well.
is the proof. So
Not proof of Scott, but yeah, there's proof
yeah,
of me and Chris.
that's the Neal and Chris. Neal's on the left, and I'm next to him. And then we had that album, Mark Jones standing up in the back in the middle, and then Avon Rushing, and in the middle on the floor is Lee Leonard, and then Dad Joe Champion. So
I
for
told him,
that version of the Bama Boys.
give me the biggest glasses you got, and that's what I had.
Oh yes, yes, me too. I was looking to see if I still had the picture of Scott with the Bama Boys. He may
Not
give
that
me,
one.
yeah, that one, because you love it so much. So
Oh yeah, there's Scott. Yes, that's when he was a Bama boy.
yeah,
I like the
Once a
jacket.
Bama boy, always a Bama boy.
I like the
Yes.
jacket. Yeah.
along
go.
with left to right, Avon Rushing, Doug Cantrell, and Neal, and Dad, and me, then Scott, then Chris Locke. So
Yep.
owner of City Barbershop in Fayette, Alabama now. So get him a plug in this evening. So,
I'll charge him a dime for it.
No.
but yeah, we were. That was some good old days. That's how we got started on this. I got to step out a second.
There was a guy that was at our singing Sunday, chosen witness, sang up at Blooming Grove in Lamar County, and a man come up to me and said, "Do you know the Bama boys?" Said Joe Champion and Chris Champion. Did you know them? I said, as a matter of fact, I did. So it was an interesting question. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right.
But then Mal follows up and says he heard us sing the Star Spangled Banner when they came to Millport in the playoffs. Millport beat us by about 60. I don't know who.
Oh my goodness.
Mal,
Wow.
you're going to have to fill me in when Millport beat us by who was we? I
Yeah.
don't ever remember them playing Fayette and beating them by 60, but
Yeah. That
I'm not sure. So now
That was
Scott had to decide. I had to step out because I had to sneeze, and I didn't want to sneeze all over the camera and y'all see it and hear it and all that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. There he said Marion County. So there you go.
was some
Facts known by few. So
definitely fun time when we got to do the national anthem
yep.
at those ball games, especially those big playoff games and all, when the place was packed out, wasn't anywhere to sit or stand in that stadium in Millport. Yeah, it
And
was
had
fun.
to climb that little rickety ladder up to the top of the press box, and the press
Right.
box was about as rickety as the ladder to get to it was. So
Yeah. Yep.
those were the days.
For sure.
Scott, you got an update, or you want?
We are trying.
It's okay. It's all
We
right.
are we
Rodney Holman said, "Hey guys, hey Rodney,
hey there. Yeah, we're trying.
it's all
Just
right."
having some difficulties there with I think browsers and links, and
It's all
anyway.
right.
So
Look at
maybe
here.
we'll get there.
Junior Williams, of all people, says, "Good to see y'all this evening. Always good to see Junior Williams and hear from him.
Absolutely.
need
It
to
brings
get in
back
Long time bass guitarist and banjo player extraordinaire for the Bishops back in the day." So
front porch singing is what comes to mind when I say his name.
Hannah Shackelford says, hey to Hannah. Yeah, I saw, I was listening to the Bluegrass channel on Sirius XM not too awfully long ago, and they played a Junior Williams song, and I took a picture of it, and I said I felt like a proud cousin.
Yeah.
When somebody
All right.
is, singing on the radio, it just makes you puff up a little bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we're talking about a big event that's coming up this Saturday night at the Fayette Civic Center in Fayette, Alabama. And right there is what we're talking about. Sorry, Scott, you'll be back momentarily.
I
But
like
the
this
tribute
view.
quartet that we have been featuring tonight is coming to the Fayette Civic Center this Saturday night, July 29th at 6 o'clock. We'll open up the doors and let them start flowing on in about 5 o'clock. Faithful friends will be there. Chosen witness will be there. And we hope you'll be there. No charge whatsoever to get in. We will receive an offering if you want to give. We would appreciate that. If you don't, we just want you to come get the blessing that Neal referred to a little bit earlier. But the Fayette Civic Center, very easy to find right there in downtown Fayette, right next to Fayette First Baptist Church, and real easy to find. Easy access. There's plenty of ways to get in, and if you want to avoid steps, you can do that. So y'all just come on and have a big time with us with the tribute quartet this Saturday night at 6 o'clock, and we hope to see you there. Junior chimed back in, and let me find that again, and said, I appreciate you guys, and thanks for always being a blessing to me. Well, thank you, brother. Back at you. Appreciate that. I always tell my favorite Junior Williams story, and I don't remember the circumstances, Junior, and maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. But I think I was riding with the Bishops one weekend, and you were somehow or another, you and I wound up in a vehicle together, and we were riding, and you were telling me, yes, I see it, Scott, about the trying out for Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. And I always remembered that story, but how you said that Doyle would make you stand at his front door, start an a cappella song, go 4 different directions through the house, and if you wasn't together when you came back to the front door at the end of the song, he made you do it again. So I was like, that's pretty good. That's a good way to learn it.
I remember you telling that, but I did not remember Junior is the one that told you that.
Yes, yeah, that was it. Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, live and direct from parts unknown, it is time once again to bring in my friend and yours. Let's give him a great big Fayette, Alabama welcome to Gary Casto. Look, right there he is.
Oh my!
Look at
Gary, how in the world are you?
Oh my goodness! I need that crowd with me every night. Oh, I'm doing great. How are you gentlemen doing?
You look like you're sweating. You been working hard or what?
Well, let me just say I am technically challenged.
Welcome to the club. You can be vice president.
Oh, that's the reason why I hire young folks. They can handle all that.
There you go. There you
All
go.
right, whatever suits you. Here, I'm
a big shout out
at the top so we can see you good.
Yeah, there we go.
A big shout out to our buddy Jason Baines for stepping in and helping us out with a little technical difficulty.
Yeah,
all
thank you,
right.
Jason.
But man, we are looking so forward to seeing you and the rest of the tribute quartet in Fayette, Alabama this coming Saturday night at 6 o'clock. And y'all got a big weekend. You actually start tomorrow night, don't you?
We actually do, and we're looking forward to being in Alabama with every one of you. And it's going to be a good night. But we start out tomorrow night at the James D. Vaughn singing in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. It's always a great evening with Josh Franks and John Kelly and all the guys.
And I don't know. I'm just, my radio guy's taking over, but Neal and Scott, y'all jump in at any time. But Gary, want to say congratulations, halfway up the mountain, top song, got all the way to the top of the charts, and appreciate that. But talk a little bit about not only that song, but the new project that you guys just recently released.
Well, we're excited about that. That features Halfway Up the Mountain. That was our first release on it. We that project came out this past September. We got a song on radio right now called Free Indeed, written by Mr. Lee Black, and it's already off to a great start. We're very blessed with great songs. We're blessed to have songwriters that trust us with their babies, and so we're blessed there, and we're excited about the project. A lot of great songs, a lot of great songwriters, and actually we're going into the studio this coming Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll be cutting our vocals on Volume 3, our tribute series that we do to all the old quartets.
All right.
Good deal.
I don't know if you're going into the studio. I'm assuming you've already picked songs. Can I ask you yet if you can tell us what some of the songs will be, or are we not to that point yet?
Well, we're not quite to that point yet.
All right.
And,
hey, you don't know if you don't ask. So.
Well, no, and I appreciate that. We've got several songs, and we always have enough tracks in case we decide to do one and not this one. Got them for other projects, but I will say this: we got a couple songs that I know are definites. "Still Away and Pray." A lot of folks remember that old song, and
Yes.
"What a Precious Friend Is He," an old Weatherford song. We've got a lot of great songs. We went back and got some from the Blue Ridge. We've got some. I mean, my goodness, some great songs. And I say this night after night: a good song is a lasting song.
Amen.
And to a lot of folks, these old songs that was written in the 50s and 60s are brand new to many.
Yep. I was scrolling Facebook earlier today, and somebody had posted a whole album on YouTube from the Blue Ridge Quartet when it was Elmo and Kenny Gates and George Johnson, Ed Sprouse, and Ed's from this part of the country. Neal and I and Scott too got the opportunity to meet him later in life, but I don't care if he was 80 or 20. That was one more tenor singing machine.
Oh my,
And
absolutely.
what a great honor it was to get to know him and hear some of those old Blue Ridge songs. So I'm excited to hear what y'all spin on those songs.
Well, we're excited. We try to keep them true to how they were sung though many years ago. However, we want to put tributes taste as well to it. But I started something a couple years ago that hasn't really been done a lot in our industry, and that's these projects. Most people would consider them as a table project. However, we release them to radio and to nationally, and to have a couple #1 songs and a #2 for 2 months in a row. 3 different songs on the last Quartet 2 went to radio, and that's not heard of. But I wanted to do it because people love it, and once again, a good song is a lasting song.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Chris and I grew up with our dad in a quartet, and Mr. Avon Russian, about our dad's age, and they would bring a song to us, and we would learn it. Me and Chris were teenagers, and we'd be so excited about this new song, and then and what would Daddy say about it, Chris?
That song was older than I am.
Yeah, it's older than I am, and we, what? That's an old song?
Yeah.
So we can definitely identify with that.
Absolutely.
In talking about the quartet tribute, I Call It Home, Song of the Year, 2 years ago?
Yes.
Not only are you bringing back those old songs, but in that case, putting a totally different spin on it and kind of reinventing it. And I loved what you did with the Squire Parsons introductory videos during that time and all that.
Yes.
But how does that process work? I mean, when y'all are picking these old songs and then, I know there's some that you want to do the arrangement everybody thinks of, but how did that process work of basically changing the whole song or the whole arrangement of I Call It Home?
Well, the backstory for that one in particular is Jim Brady, a good friend of mine, called and said, "Hey, we would like for you to be part of an evening in Asheville, North Carolina, celebrating the life of Squire Parsons." With me growing up in West Virginia around his family, I was so excited about it. And I said, "Absolutely, we'll do it." And he said, "I'll get with you on the song." It wasn't 2 hours later, he called. He says, "Hey, can you do I Call It Home?" Well, I said, "Absolutely, we can do it." I forgot we didn't have a track. I didn't think nothing of it. I just said, "Yeah, we'll do it." And so I called Josh up and I said, "Hey, Jim wants us to do I Call It Home." He said, "I would love to sing it," because he said that was the song that my daddy always sang to me when I was a little kid. Many a times going to bed, he would sing that as he was sitting on the bedside with him, and or singing it in church. So he knew that song very well. And we just gathered around the piano one time before that event and got around the piano, and he said, "Hey guys, sing the chorus with me." And from that point on, we started singing it. And that evening we walked off the platform and Gerald Wolf grabbed me. He said, because he produces our quartets albums. And he said, "Hey, we've got to record that." I said, "Well, when are we going to do it?" He said, "When can we get in there?" I said, "I'll get a studio next week." So that's how volume 2 happened so quickly, was because of I Call It Home. And it actually ended up being about 2 or 3 weeks before we could get in the studio, but that's how it happened.
Wow. That's a great story.
Good
And
stuff.
I want to say that I've heard you say that before. I was kind of cheating a little bit and playing country lawyer and asking you a question I thought I already knew the answer to, but you confirmed it there. But thank you for sharing that for the folks that may not have heard that before. Scott,
good.
what you got? I know you got something on your mind.
Yeah, always. Yeah, that's I love that story. I heard y'all talk about that with Gerald before. I was thinking along the lines of Gary's background. Gary, I know you've had several years in the industry, and you were privileged to sing with the Wilburn family for years, and Mr. Jackie. And I was just curious. You know me, with the SGMA stuff. I'm a Southern Gospel history guy. I love the history of the music and those who paved the way before. And I like to hear current artists tell me, about the ones who mentored them, and you now managing your own group and things that you gleaned from Brother Jackie with those years on the road.
Well, it was a great opportunity, and I've had the privilege over the years to travel with some of the greatest artists. This year I celebrate 38 years in gospel music, singing it full time. And I tell everybody I started when I was 6, but however, I've had the opportunity to stand on the stage with Rosie Roselle, Jack Tony, the list goes on. But there's something special about Jackie Wilburn. Him and Miss Elaine, they were encouragers to me. I was on the road with them for 6 years, maybe a little longer. And when they retired, they passed the mantle over to Josh and I and said, "Hey, boys, we want you to keep on keeping on." But in those 6 years, I eventually took over and was doing a lot of the road managing for them, trying to take the pressure off of them. But I learned every week, every day, and I never had to worry about what Jackie, where he stood. He was a godly man. He was your friend, and he also would take up for you. I mean, he was just the best of the best. And he would teach you things. He was a bus nut. I mean, a lot of stuff that I've learned about a bus is because of Jackie Wilburn and how to keep a bus up. And listening to his sermons, we did many revivals throughout the years that I was with him, and sitting there night after night and hearing him preach never got old. Never got old. I may have heard that same sermon 100 times, but it was always fresh. And and Lane, oh my goodness, you won't find a more precious lady. And the one thing that I learned from Miss Lane, she says, "Son, always remember this. You're in the uplifting business. We never know who's hurting. We never know what somebody's going through as they're setting out there, but it's our responsibility to uplift them in some sort of way."
That's good stuff. And that's exactly what you guys do with Tribute Quartet these days. And I know I know you get it a ton, but for folks who may not have come and seen Tribute Quartet before, what can they expect?
Well, you're gonna expect a fun night. We like to have fun. Listen, the joy of the Lord is our strength, and sometimes we can be so far that we look like prunes. However, when you could, you know what? If you love Jesus and He is saved and covered by His blood, you got something to be happy about, and that's our responsibility to go in there and let the folks know about it. So you're going to see a night of fun. You're going to see a night of worship. And when it all gets down to the bottom line, we're going to present Christ to them and give them an opportunity if there's someone there that doesn't know Him. So it's just we try to have a well-rounded blend of music.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I want to say hey to some folks that's chiming in, and Brad Shackelford says, looking forward to seeing you guys. And Shirley Simpson, oh sis, checking in from over in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hey to you. Gary, Rodney Holman says hello.
Hey.
Going back to the Quartet Tribute Volume 3, I think, Larry Stockton wants to know, will it be released on vinyl? Y'all have done that with some of the more recent stuff?
Yes, we have. Actually, our latest 4 albums are on vinyl. This one will also be on vinyl. Now, it won't be out as soon as the project is released. The project will be released. I haven't got a street date yet, but it will be sometime around the National Quartet Convention in September. And then shortly after that, we should have the vinyls.
Gives us something to look forward to. And Amber and Jared Vanderslice. I'm assuming this is Jared, but he says that Gary, you taught him how to tie a double Windsor in North Carolina at the Dixie Medley Boys homecoming when you were with the Wilburns.
I sure did, and that is one right there that we all need to pray for. It takes a lot of work for Jared. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But you know what? Jared's got a great group. Him and his daughter and a friend of theirs singing, and his wife helps manage him, which that's a job in itself. And they are doing great. I'm very proud of them.
So our doors open at 5. The Windsor Knot instruction class will be in the lobby at the Civic Center at about 5:12 if you want to come and let Gary teach you how to do that. So.
Well, listen, if you're going to sing with Gary Casto or Tribute Quartet, you're going to have a tie on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Duly noted. Duly noted.
Heard.
Scott, I was interrupting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I've got one other quick thing, and this is a guilty thing on my part, but also Gary serves in many roles in Southern gospel music. He with National Quartet Convention is one, and then also he serves as vice president of the Southern Gospel Music Association. And Gary, in this part of the woods, I try to recruit members and talk about SGA a good bit. We'll do something at our concert on Saturday night about that as well. But would you mind sharing a little bit about your passion for the SGMA and what it means to you?
Well, thank you, and thank you for your help. We truly appreciate it, Scott. You're a great team player, and that's what we all are on the same team. And I'm all about, when we started Tribute Quartet, I wanted to have a motto, and it was preserving the heritage and promoting the future of gospel music. And we've sort of just implemented that to the SGMA. And my heart is to keep this music going. Let the young folks know about it. Have a place for folks to go and visit and read and see the demonstrations that we have at the Hall of Fame. So it's heavy on my heart, but heavy in a good way. I want to make sure it succeeds for all of us.
And just recently, or not too awfully long ago, moved to a new location.
Yes.
And I don't know, Scott or Gary or whomever, you may want to talk about that just a minute.
Oh, sure. Gary, why don't you're a guest. Why don't you tell us about it?
Either one of us could do it. We were at Dollywood for many, many years. And let me publicly say, Dollywood was incredible to the Southern Gospel Music Association. Yes. But as they were growing and needed more space, it was just time that we needed to move on, which also gives the opportunity for our folks to be able to have basically a freestanding venue to be able to walk in and see at a smaller cost. When we were at Dollywood, it cost quite a bit to get in just to be able to see the Hall of Fame. And there was no way of separating the actual daily ticket just for the SGMA. So a lot of great opportunity has taken place over the last year. And we teamed up with the Biblical Times Theater in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, right there on the main strip. And they have been so kind to us. We have a great facility and a lot of great things in the future for the Hall of Fame.
Looking forward to that. As long as we're going all over the map, Jason Baines says, Gary, tell about the retreat that
yes.
Tribute Quartet has every year. So
we've done it for 3 years. We decided to do something very intimate but special. It's our retreat, and it's held every March at the Red Crest Conference Center, and I had to make sure I get my dates right. It's March 10th through the 13th, and it's about 150 people to 200, and we come in, and it's just like being in a big living room, all of us, all week. There's singing every session. We have church every day. However, we do have some fun things. We've got a 30-foot LED screen behind us, and we have the professional set up for the Family Feud, just like you'd see it on TV. And so we do that one afternoon, and then one evening we have a bonfire. We do s'mores, apple cider, hot chocolate, coffee, and we all sit around and do the hymns, sing the hymns together, and we just have a great time. It's literally a time to retreat.
And for everything Tribute Quartet, where do they need to go on the web or the Facebooks or the social medias and all that?
Yes, you can find everything at tributequartet.com. So all of our social media, the retreat, everything.
Neal, you've been too silent. I know you got something on your mind. So.
Oh man, I'm just soaking it up. I'm just so happy. When Chris and I first started talking about let's get some more concerts back in the area where we grew up, because there's just not nearly as many as there used to be.
Yeah. And
we said, so let's just do some ourselves, and Tribute Quartet was on that list of if there's any way we can get Tribute Quartet to come to Fayette. So, hey, I'm just busting at the seams, ready for it to be here,
Well, really, let me say this. Thank y'all for bringing gospel music. I mean, and supporting it. Not only Tribute Quartet, but just Southern gospel itself. And it's duly noted, and everybody understands what you're doing, and we're thankful for it. It's going to be a good night.
Oh man, yeah. Our dad raised us in it. He never he never pushed us into it. I think Chris will agree with me, but he made the way. He saw us interested, and he made the way for us to sing and for us to learn more and for us to grow in the music. And so, yeah, our late father has got a lot to do about that and bringing us up in this music. So
That is awesome.
And you've got some Alabama ties. You spent
I
some
do.
time with none other than Buddy Poe and the Southmen back in the
Yes,
day too, didn't you?
I was. I was with the Southman. I believe it was 89 to 93. I lived in Hueytown, Alabama. Was a part of the, gosh, so many concerts at the Boutwell Auditorium as well as Bessemer Civic Center.
Mm-hmm.
Many, many concerts. And quite a bit, I would go up. Country Boy Eddie would ask us to come up or ask me to come up. And many times, very early in the morning, I would go up and co-host some shows with him, and I cherish those moments.
Yep, good times. Well, we are looking forward to a good time and some good worship coming up. And yeah, that actually kind of fits with all of us
it
still on the
does.
thing.
Yeah.
But the big event coming up this Saturday night, July 29th at 6 p.m. at the Fayette Civic Center right there in downtown Fayette, Alabama. And Tribute Quartet will be there. Chosen Witness, Faithful Friends will be doing a little bit of singing too. Won't
Yeah.
cost you anything to come on in and enjoy a great night of some Southern gospel music. And looking so forward to it. Gary, I don't know what your schedule is. Can you hang around a while? Can we
Oh
play some
yeah,
tribute
absolutely.
music? Would that be all right?
Let's do it. Yes,
I'll
sir.
let you guide the conversation. What would you like for us to play?
Listen, I just like Southern gospel music. That's I grew up loving this music, and I love the old quartets. I love the mixed quartets. I just like it all. But now, my favorite of all time would be the Cathedral Quartet.
All right. Give me a song. Let me see. I've got a vast library at my disposal, but tell me something that you'd like to hear, and we'll see
Oh
if we
my
can find
goodness,
it for you right quick.
you're putting
Oh,
me on
come
the.
on, Gary. There's only about 8,000 songs that they recorded. Come on, man.
I love the old song that not very many people remember, but "Shouting Sounds" by not the Happy Goodmans, but the Cathedral Quartet. I believe it's called "Shouting Sounds."
See, now you want to have to go to Neal and his vinyl library because I don't think I've
I
got.
could
All
I
right,
might be wrong on the title.
I'll go with the next best thing that I've got, and let me see. Hang on a second.
We're talking Shout and Shine.
Shout and shine, shout and shine. That's it. That's it.
Oh, okay. All
Brother,
right.
you read my mind because I was going to shout that out if you hadn't said one. So
Yeah, shout
I
and
mean,
shine.
we're
Shout
on
and
the
shine.
same
That's it.
page, buddy.
Hang on. I'm looking. Give me a second.
My
Then
first
and
Wasn't
now,
it called I'll Shout and Shine, Neal?
yes.
probably it's on the Then and Now album. Chris, we got
Yes.
projects.
See, I talked myself up, and now I'm not sure if I can find it. But
And that's on my list for volume 4.
Awesome.
Oh,
okay, all right.
awesome. Yes.
Oh
The quartet,
shoot! I knew
the
you was gonna
quartet
do that
tribute.
to me. Go ahead, Scott. While
I
I'm
was just
looking.
saying, while Chris is looking, the Quartet Tribute series is my favorite series in Southern gospel music. I just enjoy that so much. And like you guys said, y'all don't do that as a side table project. That is top quality production from beginning to end. And I have about wore out my copies because I'm old school now. I know we're in streaming world, but I like to have the product. I like to spin the CD and touch the CD.
Yes,
So
guilty as charged.
yeah. So I have about wore out my copies of those, and actually got the volume 2 was the one that was released twice, right? With the group change, y'all went back with
Yes,
Ian
we
and re-recorded.
released
Yes,
it, and then just less than 2.5 months, we went back and redid it, put the new bass singer on, put Ian Owens on, and then re-released it. Yes,
and I've got both copies. So yeah,
you probably got more than I've got.
I think I've got everything Tributes put out. I may be wrong, but I think I do. So
Well, we're thrilled about the quartet series. It's amazing to me when we get to convention this year, the folks will start bringing up their lists of what songs they want sung. It happens all the time, but at conventions, especially at convention, and they will. 3/4 of them has come off one of them quartet albums.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you, every night.
Absolutely. And I'm a big believer. You talk about the history of Southern gospel music and good songs or good songs through generations. A lot of times we have the mindset of going bigger and newer and new wave to attract the young folks. But I know my son, through his being a child up to now 20 years old, he likes the old stuff. If it's presented well and presented positively, like you guys do it, the young folks love those old songs because they're good songs.
Absolutely.
And
Young folks love the music. You just got to get them to hear it,
That's right.
And I got a trivia for y'all. I'm telling songs. Just don't tell the record company I'm doing it. But we on this new album coming out, Gus brought us a song that his family sang years ago. Gus is from Santa Rosa, California, and raised his dad was his pastor all them years. Had a Christian school, all that. So they sang a lot. He brought us a song, and this is a trivia. See if you know who did it. It's called Acres of Diamonds.
Acres of Diamonds.
Yes. And we just recorded that song. Well, we recorded the track. We'll be recording the vocals next week.
I'll be honest and say I'm stumped. What about you, Neal?
Acres of Diamonds.
It's ringing a bell that I can't hear because I'm mad at myself because I don't have Shout and Shine. I was still looking for that, but anyway.
Chris, I put it in the Dropbox folder if you want to.
Okay. All right.
Gary,
we're gonna get your song on for you, Gary.
I don't know for sure exactly where it came from. I know that some quartets did it many years ago, supposedly. I got the guys researching it. Gerald didn't know it either. He's like, I've never heard of this song. And
really?
Gerald normally knows them all,
Yeah.
We're constantly texting. Here's another one for the next volume, And so when Gus brought this one and the rhythm that we brought it into, it takes you back to some of the old cathedral feel. But the only artist that I found was a bluegrass group many years ago recorded it because Acres of Diamonds.
Wow.
So I can't wait for y'all to hear that one.
That is awesome. I can't wait. And now, is that going to be, let's see, you said you're in the studio, so that one probably won't be available by NQC, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
You are going to get it out? Okay,
yes,
awesome.
Sir. Absolutely.
Awesome. Very good.
I will make sure.
You got it on the fast track.
Yes, sir. I've already got all the artwork. Well, not all the artwork. Most of the artwork, I got to get the titles and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I got most of it done.
Well, that's usually the push to have something new for the product table at NQCs, but I just knew time was waning there, so I didn't know.
Yeah, it does. I'm old school. I got to have something new every year.
All right. Wait a minute. I'm working with the boys in research and development, and we're almost there. But I'm going to get this song if it kills me. And right now there's a 62% chance that it's going to. But
this is WEAKD. WEAK worthy week radio.
Hey, you do you.
Week program.
Hey,
I can take you out of there anytime I want to, Scott.
I like that. One thing I can say is I love the folks in Alabama. They love gospel music. They know what good gospel music is about. So it's going to be a great week. I'm excited about it.
And in our neck of the woods, you guys have we had y'all at Kennedy, 4 different times. So Kennedy is only about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from Fayette. So we've got some exposure for tribute. And then y'all have come to Barry several times. And so should have a lot of friends.
A lot of traffic on our social media, in our office, and about being there, asking information. So I think it'll be good.
Great.
Good deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, he asked for it. It took me way longer than it should have. The Cathedral Quartet. No, wait a minute. No. See, wait a minute. Hey, it's just, I know it. It's just messing with me. That's what Gary, your technical stuff just rubbed off on me. I was like, I hit that, and it's just, Gary, what have you done to me? I was like, I get on here and I try to do, TV stuff, video stuff, and I'm just not cut out for that. I'm cut out for radio. I've got
now you feel my pain.
Yes, I do. I mean, anyway, hang on. Just as I clicked on it, it like did something that I wasn't expecting it to do, and now it's just totally shut down. So
Talking about you guys being in Lawrenceburg, I think.
yes, y'all
tomorrow
talk
night?
about that. I'm gonna go fix this.
Oh, it's
I'll
going to be a
back in
great
minute.
evening. The James Devon, is just wonderful. For years, they had a museum down there, and it's a lot of great artifacts and of gospel music. But this event's been going on for some time. Tomorrow evening, it'll be Mark Tramble Quartet, along with let's see, the Wisnets, the Malin Hayes family, tribute quartet, and then it's Hayes, Wisnet Hayes Conkle. It's the boys from the group, and they are amazing. So they will be part of the event tomorrow night as well.
Good. And that's
All
at
right.
the Crockett Theater, isn't that
At
right?
the
In
Crockett
downtown
Theater.
Lawrenceburg?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it starts at 6:00, and it goes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I think Friday and Saturday they have also some matinees.
This is the hardest I have ever worked for 1 minute and 36 seconds. I'm going to play this song. I'm going to go lay down. I'll be back in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cathedrals.
When toiling is ended, my burdens are laid down. What glory will then be mine? Will be mine for surely. My robe will be spotless, and I'll put on a bright crown. In heaven I'll shout and shine. Gonna shout, gonna shout, gonna shine, gonna shine. In that city of love divine, divine. Over there, over there, free from care, free from care. With the saints I shall shout and shine.
That's quartet.
I'll never be lonesome in that glad city so fair, and all will be joy divine, for surely. Many of my loved ones, my neighbors will be there. In heaven I'll shout and shine. Gonna shout, gonna shout, gonna shine, gonna shine. In that city of love divine, divine. Over there, over there, free from care, free from care. With the saints I shall shout and shine. Gonna shout, gonna shout, gonna shine, gonna shine. In that city of love divine, divine. Over there, over there, free from care, free from care. With the saints I'll shout and shine.
Yes, sir. Like I said, the hardest I've ever worked for 1 minute and 36 seconds, but it was well worth it.
Oh, that's one of my old favorites that they did.
As I can remember seeing them singing that on the Jubilee with,
Yep.
of course, George and Glenn and George Amon Webster and Roy Trimble and Haskell Cooley on the piano, just wearing it out. So, hey, let's say hey to some more folks. I don't know who this is, but Everything Southern Gospel says that's good right there. Those boys were good. Yes, sir, they were.
I believe that's Blaine Rayleigh, if I'm correct.
Okay.
I think that's who
All
that
right.
is. It does Everything Southern Gospel.
And Rodney Holman wanted to get in a plug, and I'll let him because it's after hours. But tribute's going to be down at Zion's Way Quartet Homecoming in Purvis, Mississippi. I said down, is that right? On Saturday, August 26th at 6. So y'all come on up here to Fayette and see Tribute Quartet this Saturday night, and then go on down to Purvis, Mississippi. Everybody else is going. You might as well too. So, yep, we want to get that in. Brad Shackelford says, do I need to take over as sound tech? No. No. He's just trying to help a brother out. I was struggling mightily because I was asking you, Gary, to pick out a tribute song to play, and I had all that ready to go, and then you just...
Oh, I thought you said cathedral.
Y'all sound so much
Close.
alike. I mean, tribute, cathedral, it sounds alike. Y'all sound alike when you sing
Hey,
and all that.
hey. You know what? Let me throw one at you. Here you go. Sunnyside. Do you know the
See?
background on that one?
No, but you're going to tell us while I
I'm
pull
going
it
to
up.
tell you. Written by Mr. J.D. Sumner, and
Mm-hmm.
he gave it to the Singing Spear family to record, and they recorded it. A lot of folks don't realize that J.D. Wrote a lot of songs, and I got to spend a lot of time with JD over the years, a lot of time. And his very first song he told me that he wrote was called "I'm Working on the Railroad for My Jesus." That was his very first song that he ever wrote. And I said, well, did anybody record it? He said, we're not going to talk about it.
But yes, I do have that one right here, and that is off the Quartet Tribute Volume 2. So let's do that. Is that okay? Good. This is our show. We'll do what we want to. It'll take us a long time sometimes, but there you go. Here's Ian firing off on the sunny side. There you go. I hit the button and nothing happens. Yeah. What is it that Tom Brokaw said in the election in 2020 or whenever it was? Not 2020, 2000. Not only do I have egg on my face, I've got an omelet all over my suit. So I don't know. It's just like computers just have a mind of their own. I mean, I hit it. That one. And now I'm going to play this. Thank you. I'm going to go lay down, boys. I'll be back in a minute.
Sorrow, trouble, and strife, they used to be my company. Heartache, blues in the night used to never let me be. I used to sit around and pine all day. Nothing ever seemed to come my way. But then I opened up my eyes and I saw the light. Now I'm living on the sunny side. I'm living on the sunny side. On the sunny side. No sorrow, no more sorrow, no trouble, no strife. I'm living on the sunny side. On the sunny side. No more darkness, no night. My way is brighter, my road is clear. My battle's over, the end is near. Now I know there's nothing else to fear. I'm living on the sunny side. On the sunny side. I'm living while I travel each year a mile. No sorrow, while the sun is shining, no trouble, I'll sing and smile. I'm living, yes, I'm living on the sunny side. No more darkness, no night. No more night. My way is brighter, my road is clear. My battle's over, the end is near. Now I know there's nothing else to fear. I'm living on the sunny side. I'm living on the sunny side. On the sunny side. No sorrow, no more sorrow, no trouble, no strife. Yes, I'm living on the sunny side. On the sunny side. No more darkness, no night. My way is brighter, my road is clear. My battle's over, the end is near. Now I know there's nothing else to fear. I'm living on the sunny side. I'm living on the sunny side.
There you go, Tribute Quartet, and on the sunny side here on the Champion Brothers Disaster this evening. So, see, my OCD's taking over now, Gary. I got to swap everything back to like I had it. So, and Neal, you've got your mic muted, but you had something you wanted to tell this evening, didn't you?
I wanted to ask Gary about it, and this puts him on the spot. And if he just says, just move on, I'm not going to address that. You can, but just watching you guys on stage and watching Josh when he's on stage,
Yes.
the way he works, you're bound to have a story sometime when Josh caught you off guard and you were like, I wish he hadn't have done that. You got any story like that you could share with us?
Yeah,
Probably every
pretty
night.
much every night. You know what? I do have a short story to share, but I will say that the funny thing about it is, Josh grew up on he's old soul. He loved all the old comedy, a big Red Skelton fan, all that stuff. And he loved it. He grew up on it. And he is crazy as all get out on the platform and when we're out in public. But when he gets on the bus, he's an introvert. He's the most quiet one. You never know he's on the bus. He's either working on his music. He produces quite a bit, working on that, his own stuff, or he's listened to sermons or studying the Word. That's him. It's the other ones that are like him on the bus. So I don't ever get away from it. However, years ago, we was in somewhere up in Bassett, Virginia. And we did a concert that evening, and there's this lady who was friends of ours. I mean, she was an older lady, but she'd been a friend of ours for years. And every time they'd see each other, they'd just let out a big scream, and they'd run towards each other. Well, Josh ran towards her, and when he got to her, they hugged each other, and they both went straight down on the floor in front of about 500 people. Josh is laying flat on top of her, and all they could do is laugh. We couldn't get neither one of them off the floor. That was a job in itself. I'm telling you right there. So we finally got both of them up, and they were laughing. It's a wonder it didn't kill one of them. But that's some good stories.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Since we're talking about Josh and Gary, I don't know. You may get on me or sue me. I don't know, but. You see all the videos that people put out of y'all's concerts, and I know you get into you're not really supposed to do that, but at the same time, you want the word to get out ever how it can get out, but obviously you want it to go through the proper channels and all that. Am I going to get in too much trouble with you if I play a Josh or the tribute quartet off of a YouTube video that y'all did at Lee's Family Restaurant a couple of years ago, or would you rather me not?
No, go for it. I'll deal with them later.
All right. But if in case you've never heard or seen Josh in action, and this is about this pretty much sums it up. But like I say, up in Dora, Alabama, there's Lee's Family Restaurant. They bring gospel music artists in, usually about once a month. And I think y'all have been there a couple of times since then, fairly recently, I want to say. But this was in July, about 2 years ago. But this is Josh doing Happy Tracks. And there again, this is going to be a real big issue here, trying to get this on like I want it to. But let me see if I can do this. There we go. Let's listen to Josh in action here if I can.
With that glass of water in his hand. Now this is it's a new song. It's a new old song. Leave a lot of happy tracks. You go down life's road. Leave a lot of happy tracks. Everywhere you go. Leave a lot of happy tracks. And keep this in mind. Others will have to follow. In the path to leave behind. I know that you've heard people say many times it all pass through this world, but once you'll get yours and I'll get mine. But I've got a philosophy I believe I'd rather go mine. And if you just listen, you may want to give it a try. So leave a lot of happy tracks. You go down life's road. Leave a lot of happy tracks. Video everywhere you go. Leave a lot of happy tracks. And keep this in mind, others will have to follow in the path you leave behind. As you wander the tangled streets of life, notice your fellow man, and if he gets into trouble, well, just lend him a helping hand. Sow good seeds in the fields of life as you go along. Let others reap your happiness a long time after you're gone. What were y'all laughing at? Don't ever use a good friend for a personal gain. To gain wealth and lose one friend would Only be insane. Let your happy tracks be a many. Leave them everywhere you go. Others will have to harvest each and every seed you sow. So leave a lot of happy tracks. You go down life's road. Leave a lot of happy tracks. Oh yeah, everywhere you go. Leave a lot of happy tracks. And keep this in mind. Others will have to follow. In the path you leave behind. Oh, others will have to follow. In the path you leave behind.
So I don't know which makes me wonder more, Gary, is that Josh's antics or the fact that the other three y'all are just standing there like, well, this is just another everyday occurrence. But I don't know.
We become numb. But remind me if we ever do this again. Let me see the video first. I have never seen that.
Are you serious? You haven't? Well, let me see. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
the
in
first
trouble
for
now,
me.
But I mean, you can honestly say Josh Singletary, as you've probably never seen him before. Unless you've
No,
seen that
and it
video
might have been the
before.
last time. We may have auditions Monday.
Gary, all press is good press, isn't that what somebody said
that's
one
what I
time
hear.
or whatever? But
But you know, seriously, talking about Josh, and I still remember the first time I met Gary and Josh when Jason Baines introduced me to them at NQC back when it was still in Louisville. I remember going at the table, and that started the relationship and coming to Kennedy. And Gary's the same way, but Josh is just Josh, and Gary's just Gary. Josh loves people, and he's going to be him, and he's open. He speaks his mind, but he's one of the most loving heart. He's got the biggest heart. And I've experienced that. You know, there's been times when I have been kind of dragging. Maybe my lips been dragging a little bit. Maybe tired on a long week when we're up in Pigeon Forge or something. Josh will just come up and hug you and tell you he loves you. I mean, you know, and that's to me when you see people like Gary and Josh, you know, that not only they're singing the music, they're living the music. And that means so much. And I just appreciate both of y'all so much, all of you guys. But
thank you. And let me say this, Scott and guys, I learned this from Hovey Lister many years ago. I had the opportunity and privilege of doing the last Wally Fowler Hall of Fame tour. And it was either 6 nights one week, and then we did 4 nights the next week. And one thing Hovey told me, he said, son, 20% is singing. That's it. It's what we do on the platform and what we do off the platform to minister to the people. That's what we're called to do. 20% is just singing. And that's how we are. That's, you know, our heart is people. And to be an encourager to them. And a lot of folks see the shenanigans that Josh does and they laugh, they're fun, and he's funny. Works on my nerves, but he's funny. And but however, folks don't see the serious side when it gets down to the serious stuff on the program. And he's very grounded in the word. And there's, as you said, there's a lot of times he don't tell me, but people will tell me all the time, I received a text at the right time. Josh heard from the Lord and spoke into my life. And that means a lot as a ministry in whole.
Well, Gary, I don't know if this was what you were expecting when we finally got you on tonight, but I've had a ball.
Well,
it's been great.
Thank you. I could talk all night long. Now, you talk about gospel music and songs, I'm here. You know, I love it.
Turn off the light. Just hit that X up in the corner whenever you get through. I'm going to go to bed here in a little bit. But no.
Listen, the guys make fun of me all the time. I say, hey, listen, Monday when we get home, let's just go ahead to Pigeon Forge and get ready for NQC and set up now. And they're like, you need to shut up.
But Neal, Scott, whoever, jump in here. I don't know if we're ready to wrap up or if y'all want to keep going or whatever. I don't want to keep Gary longer than he needs to be, but the main thing is we want folks to come out Saturday night.
Absolutely. And I definitely don't want to take Gary's time for granted. I know they've got to get ready to hit the road for a long week, but I just want to tell our folks, I hope you've enjoyed meeting the personality of Gary, and y'all Saturday night, this coming Saturday night, July 29th, 6 p.m. at the Fayette Civic Center in Fayette, Alabama. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have the tribute quartet. You're in for a night of blessing. We want you to come join us. You'll enjoy Chosen Witness and Faithful Friends as well, but we want y'all to come join us and just come with a heart to worship.
Yeah.
Come ready to smile. I'm going to tell you now this thing about Southern gospel music, and I sometimes I'm a little bit too open, but now I have issues sometimes with my moods and swings, and if I'm not careful, I have to really work, to put on that armor and yield off those fiery darts that come to me. But I have been at my lowest at lows and going into a Southern gospel concert with the right-minded, right-hearted people on the stage, praising the Lord, sharing the gospel through song, sharing that love, and left there a different person than I came in that night. And that's just what you're going to get if you show up on Saturday night in Fayette, Alabama to see tribute and all the guys sing.
Absolutely.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And to everybody that's watching out there, go tell somebody. Let them know about the concert Saturday. We're going to have a great time, and we appreciate everyone that's watching, your support of gospel music, and not only just gospel music, but tribute quartet and all the other groups. And we just want you to come out and be with us. It's going to have a good time.
That'd be another good one for Volume 5. Is go and tell somebody what he's done for you.
Go and tell somebody.
Old Kingsman song.
Yep, that was written and that was recorded by, I think, wasn't it the Kingsman?
Yeah.
And
opening
what
song
year would
on
that
one
have
of the
been?
live albums. That was 87 or so. Was that the Stand Up at Opryland album?
Tim,
Is that what it is?
Tim
What was it, Scott?
No, I don't think it was stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was squeaky, so
It may have been stand up, but I was thinking it was after that.
yeah. But anyway, but still a good song. So there you go. There's one for Volume 5. Just go and put that down. We're gonna have you playing through Volume 10 before we get through.
Oh my goodness! Listen, we could go on and on with these type of albums. In all seriousness, folks love them. We love them. We get excited. Gerald texted me a while ago and he said, "Hey, start this time on Tuesday." I said, "Yeah, absolutely." He said, "We're gonna have fun. That's always fun." Talking about Gerald, I tell him he's an ambassador for our industry and our music, and he is a big cheerleader to everybody, and especially Tribute Quartet. However, I tell him all the time, with you producing, it costs me money. And he says, "Why does it cost you money?" I said, "Because you and the guys start laughing, and we spend half the day laughing and not getting nothing done." And that is about the truth.
Yes, I can definitely see that. Neal, close us out. You have anything else you want to talk about?
No, man, it's been good. We got the word out. It's here. Saturday night is going to happen, and it's going to be great. And we don't want y'all to miss it. We're going to be there, and we're going to get it. We want y'all to come get it too.
Yep.
To see this. So, yeah, good time. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for
Hey,
joining.
gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll see you Saturday.
Yes, sir. Gary Casto joining us here tonight, and thank y'all so much for joining us as well. Anything else y'all need to tell before we leave?
Can't think of anything.
All right. Well, y'all just put it down. Be there. It's 5 o'clock when the doors open. Singing starts at 6 o'clock. Saturday night, July 29th, 6 o'clock at the Fayette Civic Center, downtown Fayette, Alabama. Chosen Witness will be singing. Faithful Friends will be singing. We're going to be paying some special tributes to our friend Johnny Duran. And thank you, Billy Shaw, for saying it was another good one. And just hope y'all will come and be with us and tell somebody about it. If you're so inclined, click that little share button down there on the video, and you can share our conversation with Gary and my technical failures with everybody. I don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings none. But well, hopefully we will see all of you Saturday night, and we'll be back here not too awfully long from now to talk about the next one that's be coming up before you know it.
That's right.
Y'all good?
I'm good.
All good.
All right. See y'all Saturday night. Y'all come be with us. Thank you, everybody. Love you, and good night.
Night.